Grand Rising. It's good to see you all. How are you feeling? We're in the midst of another solar storm, and we're being upgraded yet again. And the main thing that I want to speak about in today's lesson is the ringing in the ears. Ringing in the ears. And you might have experienced this shift in the past 24 hours, and we're going to be discussing this solar storm and all the upgrades that we're going through right now. It's just never stopping. We got a good question on yesterday's live stream that we're going to also discuss today. And it really has become the norm. Last year, back in April, and we had the X3 class solar flare. I discussed how, this is becoming the norm. Space weather. Yeah, you should check it out. Space weather. Space weather has become the norm. So, this solar storm is affecting us yesterday, and enhanced solar wind conditions are expected November 5th through the 7th. So we are in the middle of this beautiful, delicious sandwich of the solar. We're in the solar sandwich right now. You actually might feel like you're in a sandwich getting the pressure. We're going to talk about the pressure that comes with the ringing in the ears. That's how you almost can tell that it's you're experiencing energy. It's not just ringing in the ears, ring to, you can ring my bell, like the song goes. But we are going through these massive shifts, and it just continues. And, there's so much room for growth. And that's what this year has really been about. Solar flares, if you're new to the channel, we've done full videos on them. Solar flares are connected to human consciousness. And, we're witnessing the world. We're witnessing people expand their consciousness. And it actually brings out more of what is within you. So it's almost amplifying whatever truthfully is within your core. And that's why, you might be driven to learn more. You're seeing things clearly, right? You might go through spells of being tired and the ringing in the ears, which we're going to discuss today. We gave everyone enough time to get on the live stream. I'm grateful for the support. Could you kindly hit the like button right now? It helps others find this message. If the message resonates with you today, please subscribe to the channel. We have daily videos at 9 a.m. Eastern time. If you'd like to support the channel, you could become a channel member. And tonight on Patreon, you could head over to Patreon. We're going to have another live stream tonight on Patreon. We're all going to discuss this and many of the topics that we've discussed this week over on Patreon. And it's really becoming a bigger and bigger change. Remember, energy is the ability to cause change. So, when we look at all of these changes that we're going through, the massive energy that has been coming in, Weather Boy, team meteorologist, a powerful solar storm continues to impact Earth, prompting space weather experts at the Space Weather Prediction Center, SWPC, inside the NOAA to issue a geomagnetic storm warning for strong storm conditions, while some electrical, navigational, communicational issues can be possible. This new event could bring, we're going to get a beautiful aurora tonight, could bring aurora much more south than usual, lighting up skies free of clouds and light pollution. And you could see maybe shades of green, purple, and perhaps even red. So, these things don't happen on a daily basis, but sometimes we get a burst of energy. Throughout the course of our journey, we have highly energetic days, and then we have days that we just sit on the couch all day, right? Some days you might feel full of energy, and you could say, I got so much accomplished. We're driven on this channel and community to put our best foot forward, and some days we're able to accomplish a lot. And some days we get blasted with energies, and you might need to take a step back. My Nana always said there's a time for this and a time for that. So there are some times for us to be productive. We've really been in a restful time period as we're getting ready. Remember, you have to remember that there are seasons and cycles. And, it's funny. I'll bring it up now since I just mentioned it. I got a great question from our soul brother on yesterday's video. And talking about, well, there's an end, but there is no end. There are ends to cycles or upgrades. However, there is no end to the event. There are ends to cycles. There's ends to seasons. But there is no end to the event. There is no finish line. I mean, maybe in this lifetime, maybe a person will learn everything that there is to know in the universe. But the more that we say to ourselves, we are on this evolutionary journey, and we are constantly evolving and we're constantly expanding our consciousness, the more that we take that mindset and we know that we're constantly growing, we're constantly changing and getting better. This is the journey of self-empowerment. Are you here to be self-empowered? You could let us know in the comments. The main symptom that I felt yesterday, which was clear as day, was the ringing in the ears. And are you experiencing the ringing in the ears? Rosa Figueroa, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, Rosa. Rosa writes, I feel like shift. My chest feels heavy and I feel overstimulated. There's no attacks. I appreciate you, Rosa. You know what? And again, when these, and Rosa, if you missed the previous lessons, I've shared about the heart flutters. Usually I was getting them this past week in the early evening after like 4 o'clock. So we experience these things, we're all used to our state of homeostasis. As we go on our journey, we know this is how I normally feel. I know. But then when your body goes out of your homeostasis, everyone has their own point of homeostasis. Then you could say, oh, this feels uncomfortable. And that's why this time period has been uncomfortable for many people. It's uncomfortable to go through a lot of change, right? So you might be experiencing a lot of the change in the now moment, but the ringing in the ears was the main thing that I experienced yesterday. And I would say that is louder and there's more pressure. So, and if you're new to the channel, I shared about my experience. It was a few years back when I was 33 and my ears started ringing and I never experienced it before. And that was very loud. It was an experience that I've never had before. There's a full video. I tell the story on the channel page. And now my ears always ring. Do your ears always ring? Let us know. And if that's your point, so that's my point of homeostasis. Some people, their ears don't ring. So maybe your ears are ringing and they don't normally ring. Or maybe your ears always ring and then all of a sudden you get like a pop. Maybe on the left ear or the right ear. Maybe it gets louder. And what you could experience, which I did, there's different sounds to the ringing. Almost like Morse code sometimes. Like Morse code was coming in yesterday. So it's interesting, if I was my younger self hearing this now, if you never had these experiences, you're like, wow, like this is wild. So that was my experience yesterday, having the increased sound, the increased volume that I was picking up on, and pressure. So it's almost like there's a pressure that's in your head. So you might be experiencing that. Please let us know in the comments if you are experiencing any ringing in the ears? Struthruth writes Morse code. Exactly. Yeah. If you, whatever you're experiencing, share it, because a lot of people, they say, oh, why are my ears ringing? Why am I feeling this? What's going on here? Solar weather is now the norm, and the frequency has changed. So the frequency of our sun has changed. The frequency of our planet has changed. The Schumann resonance, right? All of these things are rising up. We are just a little speck living on Earth. So the surroundings, we're in this frequency. We're living in this frequency in the cavity of the Earth's surface up to the ionosphere. We live in this cavity. And this frequency is what we live within. And if you're familiar with Dr. Bruce Lipton, epigenetics, our surroundings influence our genetics. That's why we're changing and evolving. And I hope that that helps everyone put these feelings that we're having together. So, as per epigenetics, if we're within this frequency, and people could say, and that's why you have to change the way that you think. That's why when I shared about the 528 hertz frequency, the miracle tone, we have some full meditations on the channel page. Check them out. When I first learned about it, and I said, oh, this is just a sound. Well, how's this going to cause miracles in my life? It's just sound. And then all of a sudden you start sleeping better, and you're sleeping better, and then you're feeling better. And then you're having a more positive experience. And now you're broadcasting an electromagnetic signature into the quantum field. And then all of a sudden your reality starts to change, and you start having a greater experience in your everyday life. And then you say, wow, I feel so great. I can't believe this. I want to share it with the world. And that's what we do here in this community. So these seasons, these cycles that we go through, they come in, you have your periods, your highs, your lows. Your life doesn't go like this. It goes like that. And sometimes after we've gone up and then we're going back down, you're like, son of a, I got to do this again? Yeah, you do. You got to do it again. If the message is resonating today, could you please hit the like button right now? It helps others find this message. So, Tesla said light is information. And some people in the spiritual community, they use the phrase Lightcodes. And some people might hear that and think that's spiritual wackadoo stuff. But Lightcodes, the information is within the light. Maybe in the springtime, the rays, they're actually penetrating the earth. Somehow the ants know to start coming up. You see the ant hills pop up out of the ground. You have a plant in your house, and you say, that plant is growing towards the light. It knows what to do. It's getting the information. And these are just basic, everyday life examples to say, well, how could there be information? So it's telling us how to change. It's telling us how to evolve. It's our evolutionary journey. I heard someone say that once. It's our evolutionary journey right now. So we are evolving, and we're getting the information that we need to become the greatest version of ourselves. That's what this is about. As the planet changes, we all have to change with it. Where the frequency is rising, you, through your free will, you are raising your vibrational frequency. And things that are going in the opposite direction, if the frequency goes too low, it's so dissonant, it just falls off your life. There it goes. See ya. When you're in a car and you're picking up a station, and if there's a time period where there's just this static, can't hear it anymore. So that's why during this change, and I see we have a lot of people coming on today. If you missed our video on isolation, sometimes you got to go through that hermit phase. Sometimes you got to get into isolation because the energies are so chaotic at the time. So then when you're in isolation, you start sorting it out. And then you start seeing clearly. And then you start saying, okay, this is where I'm headed. And this is not where I'm headed. It's a great shift that you go through. And you want to, through your free will, make choices. Oh, yeah, those are the antennas, Hannah. Yeah, your hair is antennas. So we're constantly picking up on frequencies. And you know what? Like, in our lives, you know, we might not have really understood this. Just because we can't see it, just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Oh, I don't see it. So it means it doesn't exist. Tesla said, you want to know the secrets of the universe? Think in terms of energy, frequency, vibration. So now we start thinking differently. And now we're not just thinking about the physical. Look at that beautiful 333 manifestation there. Yeah, beautiful. You have to think beyond the physical. You are actually beyond the physical. Did you know that? And so now we have these solar flares. They're bringing these energies that are coming in your DNA receptors. 93% of the function of DNA is light and sound reception and transmission. That's why today, if you're getting this message, change the way that you think about the world, and then all of a sudden your reality will shift. And everyone's situation is different, but that's why the more that we find a time period, we find a time period where we could get alone with our thoughts. You got to get alone with your thoughts. You got to get alone with God. And then you got to start sorting it all out. Once you start sorting all these things out, okay, now I'm starting to sort it out. I'm starting to figure it out. Then you could move forward. We could only answer questions with the information available at the time. It's true. So that's the time where you level up. And we're all leveling up. We're leveling up in different ways. But this really has become the norm. And it comes in as waves. Just like if you're on the beach, wave after wave, they don't stop. They keep coming in. And then you could go through different seasons or days, for example. You could show up at the beach. Oh, wow, look at the rough surf. Surf's up. This year has been surf's up, baby. Surf's up. Get aboard. Start learning how to ride the waves, kid. Learn how to ride the waves. That's what we're here to do. We're here to do it together. Look, we're learning on the fly. We are learning on the fly. So when you have the rough surf, the surf starts coming in, you start learning how to ride the waves. And then, you know, some days it's calm. Some days it's calm. So that represents the energy waves that comes in. Spiritual Bean Coffee writes, cowabunga, baby. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Remember the turtles? I'll share my story tonight on Patreon again about the turtles. Oh yeah, that was fun growing up. But yeah, you have to learn how to ride these waves. I appreciate that, Activated Peniel. I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. Because every day it's going to be. Oh, this is easy today. Oh, I could go in the ocean today. I could go. You know, you ever go to the beach? Some days you're like, oh, I don't want to go in today. Right, the rip current is going around. The waves are going sideways. The waves are crashing down. I don't want to go in. And then some days it's, oh, this is easy today. Well, on the journey of our everyday lives, we can't predict. We're in it all day long, all day long. So some days the energies, the current is going to be real rough. And some days it's going to be easy. So we are in the solar storm right now. And we'll see what changes this brings to us. And maybe it brings to you, sometimes all it needs to bring to you is a sense of clarity. Yeah. A sense of clarity. You learn more about your life, you learn more about your needs, and you start seeing things that you never seen before. And now you have a deeper understanding because, which all solar flares do, it is helping us expand our consciousness. That's what it's all about. So I love each and every one of you. I'm grateful for all of the support. You could hit the like button if this message resonates with you. Subscribe to the channel. We're here 9 a.m. Eastern time every single day. You could even set an alarm on your phone to remember every day there will be a video up waiting for you here. Tonight we're going to be on Patreon. The link is in the description if you'd like to join us all tonight. It's going to be a good time tonight. Head over to X for daily motivation. Wake up every day. Start the day off right. And then that energy that you start with is going to carry out throughout the day. And that's why we have to stay focused, because momentum is a real thing. So we're picking up the momentum. We're ready to launch over to the fifth dimension. Here we go. I love you too. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you being here. And you know what? Just show up every day. And then all of a sudden, great change comes into your everyday life. I love you all. We'll be back on tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time here. And I will see you all tonight on Patreon. Bye for now.